The chamber was buzzing with the usual mix of political maneuvering and casual chatter, the kind that fills every corner of Congress on a Wednesday afternoon. Phones buzzed, papers shuffled, aides whispered, and yet, in the middle of this organized chaos, one man stood at the podium, eyes steady, face calm, ready to speak. John Kennedy, the senator known for his intellect, charisma, and sometimes cutting wit, adjusted the microphone and looked out at the sea of faces. The room quieted slightly, sensing that something different was about to unfold. Kennedy didn't start with policy, or partisan politics, or statistics. Instead, he began with a story about his father. A man not known for political speeches or grand gestures, but for lessons quietly taught at the dinner table, in the living room, and during long drives through the New England countryside. My father, Kennedy began, his voice steady but tinged with emotion, taught me that the measure of a man is not in the battles he wins in the halls of power, but in the love he gives to his family. A few snickers rippled through the chamber, mostly from those unaccustomed to personal reflections in a room dominated by numbers and legislation. Kennedy ignored them, continuing. He spoke of the small lessons, how his father insisted he wash his own dishes, not as punishment, but as a way to understand responsibility, how he taught him to shake hands firmly, look people in the eye, and mean what he said, how he quietly carried the burdens of a family through decades of uncertainty, always putting their welfare above his own desires. Fatherhood, Kennedy said, his voice rising, is not simply about providing. It is about being present. It is about guiding, protecting, loving, even when it is inconvenient, even when it is exhausting. It is about teaching our children what it means to be human, what it means to be honorable, what it means to love without conditions. He paused. The chamber, once alive with chatter, was silent. Members of Congress shifted in their seats, unsure how to respond. For a moment, the air itself seemed heavy with reflection. Here was a man speaking not as a politician, but as a son, a father, and a human being. Kennedy's words cut deeper when he shared the story of his own struggles with fatherhood, the mistakes he had made, the times he had failed to be patient, the nights he lay awake wondering if he had done enough for his children. I have learned, he admitted, voice softening, that love is not measured in grand speeches or gifts. It is measured in moments. Moments of attention. Moments of understanding. Moments of courage to admit when we are wrong and to try again. He looked across the chamber and let his gaze linger. If we are to govern a nation, we must first govern our homes. If we are to lead our people, we must first understand the people who look up to us most, the children who trust us, whose lives we shape more than we realize. A veteran L.